So the game I'll play with the students is called Name That Tone. And using Google Docs, I'll create various scenarios. And for each scenario, I'll change it up a little bit. So the students will get into like groups of two or three. And once I put the scenarios on the board, um, once I put the scenarios on the board, the students will listen to the language and try to identify the best tone or word for that scenario. And in their groups, they'll agree on one word, write it on the board, and I'll judge which tone word best fits the given text. So, for example, for the first one, it says, "My sister took my sweater without even asking." And then the students will work together to come up with their own words and then come up and write down a word. They might say like hostile or frustrated, something like that. And so we'll move on to the next one. Or I'll vote for whoever comes up with the closest tone word to what I think it would be, and then we'll move on to the next one. And it says, "My sister destroyed my only sweater. It was knitted by my great-grandmother who passed away." So the students might say something like upset or angry, frustrated, and then they'll have to also identify what tells them that in the text, because my students have been having issues with identifying context clues. So they'll have to say, like, if say they say the tone is upset, they'd have to explain why. So obviously they're upset. They're saying, well, they're saying, "My sister destroyed my only sweater and it was knitted by my great-grandmother who passed away." So not only did her sister destroy her sweater, but it was knitted by someone close to her. So them putting themselves in the shoes of this person might say upset, and they would explain that the person might be upset because their great-grandmother made the sweater. So then the next one, we'll change it up again. And it says, "My sister misplaced my sweater, but I have plenty more." So here, the text shows that, okay, maybe they're not upset anymore. Their sister misplaced their sweater, but they have plenty more. So they don't seem to be as angry or aggravated or upset, but they seem more calm, and it's gonna be okay. So, yeah, so using the text, the students will identify the tone, and turning it into a game will make it more fun for them. And yeah, so I'll use this game to kind of warm the students up for the lesson, where they'll have to identify tone and mood and the context clues pertaining to those words that they come up with. So it'll really help them.